Kudos, you helped Alex draw a line. Now let's step it up and help Alex draw a square. To draw a square, we need to follow these steps. Now, I would advise you to take a minute, get a pen, get a paper, and draw out each of the steps just so that you can understand exactly what each step is doing in order to help you achieve your goal of making a square. This is good practice because as the coding gets a little more complicated, like writing it down and visualizing it can help you understand what is going on and what is going wrong if anything is going wrong. So I am going to draw it on my screen. Feel free to follow along or to do it on your own. It's whatever works best for you. So we're going to go forward 50 steps, turn left 90 degrees and go forward another 50 steps, turn left 90 degrees and go forward another 50 steps, turn left 90 degrees and go forward a final 50 steps. Oh, sorry, that's ugly. But it does the job. So we can see that looks like a square, even if it's an ugly square. So now that we figured out that's what we want to do and these steps are correct, let's figure out how are we going to make the square. So we already know how to draw lines using the turtle dot forward method or the turtle dot backwards method. But in order to turn 90 degrees to the left, we're going to need to pass the 90 integer value as an argument to the turtle dot left method. You can see them do that right here. And so let's try putting it together and seeing how the method works. So as you can see, I commented out the rest of my code just because it is good practice to do a small portion first just to make sure that it works and it's doing what you want it to, because sometimes there can be typos or there can be the code might not work how you expect it to, and you have to debug and figure out like what is going wrong. And so by working with small portions of code at a time, you can ensure that your code is doing what you expect it to and that nothing's going wrong. So I'm going to run this. And as you can see, there's a backwards L, which is what we expected. We wanted it to go to the right and then up. So let's keep the rest of the code and see if it all works. Let's run it. And we did it. We made a square. Now you can move on to the next section, or you can continue to play with these methods. Keep in mind that you still have your backward method, so you can try and do this backwards. But you'll notice that if we try to run with the backward, we get a bottom left square. So that can be, you can make some designs already. If we were to make a square on the top right and then make a square on the bottom left, you can do that. Also, there is the method, if you want to take it a little further, the right method, the turtle dot right method. It works the same as the turtle dot left method, but it moves to the right. So it would make a square right there. You can try and play with this and have fun with it, or we can move on to the next section.